Hello, hello. Peace, love, and blessings, beautiful, wonderful people. Welcome back to Philosophy with Z. I'm Z, and I'm so glad you're here with me as we continue on our journey of what to say when you talk to yourself. Personally, this is my journey of figuring out how to talk to myself so that I can set myself up to achieve my dreams and my hopes and my goals and my wildest imagination. Like, that's what I'm here for. I don't know what you're here for, but that's what I'm doing here. So, I hope that as you've been on this journey with me, that it's giving you some enlightenment, maybe some awakening, like let you see into your mental inner workings and how it all works a little better. And in the process, I hope that you can use this stuff to also change your own mind and redirect your life and reach your dreams and goals and create whatever life you want to live too. So, with all that being said, I'm glad that you're here. And as always, if you have any additional questions or comments or concerns about the book or me or what I'm talking about, you can reach out to me. And my website is abstractlogic.me. And on the homepage, you can just fill out the little contact card or send me an email or find me on social media. So today we're on chapter 10. This is the problem with positive thinking. Now, I like this chapter because a lot of people, I'm sure you've heard people always say just think positively. Everything will be fine. Just think positively. And a lot of people will be like, "Yeah, sure, positive thinking, it works." For some people, but it doesn't work for me. I've heard a lot of people say that. I've heard a lot of people say that yeah, positive thinking works, but it doesn't work for them. And I've always been a person that is a positive thinker. So people would comment and remark at how like, "Oh, I love your sunshiny positive disposition," and like, "Oh, I wish that could work for me." And I never really understood that because I feel like just think positive and like that's all you have to do. Like just because I think positive doesn't mean everything is going well. That doesn't mean that there's nothing bad happening or there's nothing challenging happening. I'm just thinking positively because whatever is happening, I want the best outcome. I'm just hoping for the best. But as I've grown up a little more or whatever in life, I guess I see that it could be difficult to be a positive thinker because maybe the past hasn't really lended you to the hope and the belief that positivity will get you anywhere. And I mean myself, as I've mentioned before, I've had drug abuse problems and I've had jobless problems and homeless problems, moving around a lot problems, and I have had a lot of instability in my life. So there were times where it was hard to think positively because I'm like, everything is crap around me. Like, there's nothing positive about this. But in retrospect, I see like the reason, the blessing and the lesson of a lot of the things I've been through. But he talks about a book that he read by Norman Vincent Peale called The Power of Positive Thinking. And I actually have that book. I read it. I went to a church when I was in rehab. We were in this town, a small town, and I went to church every Sunday that I was there. And I would pick a different church every week that I just found while I was walking around town. And one church I went to, it was I don't remember what it was called or what denomination it was, but there was a black woman that was the pastor, so I thought that was cool. But they had a little book giveaway, so they just had a box that always had books you could take in it, and I found that book in there, and it looks like a very old copy. So I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard of this, and that like kind of began my journey of collecting great books that change my mind. So He said that he first read that when he was 16, and he read it several times. And I do want to mention that reading books several times is just so beneficial, because every time I read a book, it's almost like I'm reading it for the first time, because technically, this person that I am today, this is the first time I've been this version of me, because this is the first time I've experienced this day. So every time I read something, a new version of me is reading it, even though some part of me has read it before. And so this is like maybe my third or fourth time reading this book as I do it on this podcast. And some parts of it still hit me different. So that's just a little side note. Okay, so he read this when he was like 16, and he's like, okay, thinking positive, that's all I gotta do. Like, oh, that sounds great. That's so simple, right? And he's like, no. No, he realizes, no, it's not that simple, because if it were that simple, everybody would be doing it already, right? Like, people go to all these seminars, read all these books, all these training programs, talk to all these experts, and they're all like versions of positive thinking, or hey, you should do this, or hey, you're better than what you think you are, or you can do so much more, you're more powerful than you think you are. Like, all this good stuff. But the way he describes this is just so perfect to me. Okay, so he's like, let's just imagine that your mental space is an apartment, and it's going to be full of furniture. And so your furniture is your thinking. Well, we're just going to call it your negative thinking, because most of our thinking is already negative. So we're not going to just like beat around the bush. Your furniture in your mental apartment is your negative thinking. And one day you realize, like, I don't want any of this stuff. I could do better than this. I deserve to have I deserve to have better furniture in my life. So you throw it all out. Well, you don't throw it all out. You just put it in the garage. Put it in the garage. So we clear out all the rugs. We clear out all the couches and the chairs and the tables and the lamps, everything. Clear it all out, put it in the garage. So after that, looking at your brand new mental space apartment, and there's nothing in there, no old ratty furniture that reminds you of all the things that you used to say to yourself, all of it is gone. But after a couple hours standing around in this empty mental space apartment, you're going to feel a little empty and lonely. So you'll go out and just grab a chair and maybe the TV. Grab a chair and the table, the TV. Maybe a bowl and a spoon. Eat a little something. And then slowly but surely, one by one, you'll bring in more and more stuff, because you need it. You need stuff in your space. We're not void creatures. So you just fill it back up. All of that negative thinking is right back in your life. You might have rearranged it, maybe polished it up a little bit, give it a good vacuum, but it's really all still the same thinking. So that's what he says the problem is that when we decide we want to overhaul our lives and we want to dump out all this negativity, we don't have anything to replace it with. So he says to replace the old with the new. So after you've taken out all of that negative thinking, don't just put it in the garage, don't just store it for later, and don't give it away. Because that's how you got stuck with it in the first place, right? Your friends, family, colleagues, TV gave you those thought patterns, gave you that programming that you didn't necessarily ask for. So don't give it away. We're just gonna put a little match on it and burn it. So after we have burned those negative thoughts and we have this nice clean space for some new thoughts, we will go ahead and put them in and begin reprogramming ourselves. And he says that that is an essential part of this self-talk journey, is to replace the old with the new. And I love this analogy that he gives of having this little mental space apartment. If I can just like visualize a thought pattern as a couch, then I can just remove that couch, watch it burn, and decide what counter thoughts can I begin speaking to myself to replace that one that did me so well for so long, but that's not going to serve me with where I'm going next. And I say it like that because although it is a negative thought and it does hurt me, it protected me for a very long time and it served me well for a very long time. So I don't really want to shame it or myself for having that thought. I just don't need it anymore. And I'm thinking right now, I'm thinking of an occasion that I can apply this to in my life, like something that has happened. Um, hmm. Well, let's see. Um, I know this is like such a pregnant pause. I should have had an example prepared, but you know, this is just real life happening right now. I know that being a positive thinker isn't all that it takes. So, I know at some point I was thinking, I guess it's hard for me to think because I'm still on the journey. I'm still in the process of changing my thoughts and changing my self talk. So I don't necessarily have a big success story of how this has helped change my whole life. But there's little things that it helps change in me. Just like not being so obsessive and compulsive about food that I used to think, okay, I used to think like I can't buy sweets and not eat them all right now. I can't buy candy or cookie or cake and like not eat it as soon as I get into the car, or if it's in my room, I have to eat it. Well, I just decided like I don't like thinking that. I don't like having that anxiety and that like requirement. Basically, that when I get X, Y, and Z, I have to eat it, even if I don't want to. Even if I'm busy or I got something else going on or whatever. Like, I don't like having this requirement that this is what I have to do. And that's basically what I was giving myself, was a requirement by saying I can't do this when I get this. So now I just say, "Oh, yeah, I have candy in my room all the time." But I don't eat it. It's just there. And so currently I have candy in my cabinet and some of it has been there for months. And I really just don't eat it. And that is like it's really just that simple. I don't really know like what the process was, like how long it took to like change my mental programming, but it's changed. I don't think I don't have the mentality anymore at all. When I get this, I have to eat it now. It's just like doesn't happen. I just know that now I know like the food is there whenever I want it, but I don't have to do it now. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a loose example, but that's what I got for now. So, I just to be totally transparent, I'm not an expert in this stuff yet. I am a novice. I am on the journey and the path to bettering myself and changing my mind and enlightening myself. And through my journey, I hope to connect with others and inspire others to like do their own thing, connect with themselves better, and like change their own self-talk so they can create the life they want. And I appreciate what I'm learning in this book because like he says, the brain says, give me more, give me the words, give me the directions, the commands, the picture, the schedule, and the results you want, then I will do it for you. Give me the words. And that's why I'm doing this, because sometimes I'm just thinking, I don't know how that worked. I don't know how I did that. I don't know what happened. I know that I'm not obsessive and compulsive about candy like I used to be. I'm not really sure how it happened, but I know that I can use words to evoke a response or a result or a consequence that I want in my life. And so I'm like doing that. I'm working on it. I'm currently working on it when it comes to my artistic talents and sharing my art with people. And I'm currently doing it with my podcast and reaching more people and extending my audience. And I'm currently doing it with my body and my fitness and my health. So there's lots of areas in my life that I'm working on. I'm not doing it in my recovery because my recovery works itself as long as I work my program. So that's like kind of a little side note. I realized that there's a lot in my life that I can control and direct when it comes to the way I'm talking and thinking to myself about myself. And there's a lot of things that I just give to God, and I seek guidance and structure, and I need help, and I can't do it all by myself. So, life is a beautiful, delicate balance, and I am just seeking to flow in the middle of it and meet God halfway and do what I can. And I know that if I can direct my mind, like, that's what I can do. I can give myself the words. And I know that although I'm new in this journey, I believe in the power of thoughts and I believe in the power of myself. And I know that when I just keep up and I am consistent, then the results will have to appear. And I know that I feel better about me. And I really believe that that's the beginning of having the changes is that a little bit of talking to myself will make me feel better about myself, which will lead me to do better for myself, which will lead me to manifest better for myself. And I just hope that any listener sees that or hears that although I'm saying me, I mean you as well. I keep it on myself because I don't know you and your journey and what you're going through and what you've been through. But I keep it on me because I am a reflection of you as you are of me. So if I can do this, then you can do this. I'm really no one special as compared to you. Like, we're the same. So please be inspired and do whatever you want to do because you deserve to do it. You deserve to be happy. Live your life to the fullest because you got every day to do it. So you might as well do something today that makes you feel good about you. So I think that's it. Have my little motivational moment at the end. And I, for some reason, feel like I haven't done a podcast in like more than a week. Time is going by like real weird for me lately. But I am here today. So next week, we are talking about the motivation myth, chapter 11. And notice earlier I said be inspired. I didn't say be motivated because motivation is kind of a myth. Motivation is just like a little kick in the butt, but a little kick in the butt, but it's not sustaining. So we will get into that next week. All right, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. And I hope that this book is opening your mind as much as it is mine. If you want to connect with me, my website is abstractlogic.me. I'm here for you on the journey, And if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. You can check out my blog as well on my website. And I write a little more about the book and how it's affecting me, how I have experienced it in my life, what things are coming up as I'm on this journey. And that's about it. So, yeah, until next time, beautiful, wonderful people, peace, love, and blessings.